Sup guys, it's the One Definition of Perfection, WWE Punk Fan 19 here, with my WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view review. Now overall, I thought this was a great show. I enjoyed the show a lot. Some people don't really agree with me. They say this pay-per-view was decent. But I thought it was a great show. I really enjoyed the show, and let's get to the review. The opening match of the show was the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. Christian versus Matt Hardy versus Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kane versus Kofi Kingston versus Big Show versus Cody Rhodes. Now this was a great opener. I enjoyed the opener a lot. I actually enjoyed this match. I'm actually watching it right now. I ordered the pay-per-view to let you guys know. But there's a lot of spots in this match as well, like when Kofi Kingston did the boom drop onto Drew McIntyre through the announce table. That was just awesome. That was just like holy shit moment right there. You had Big Show. Freaking took forever to get that huge ladder in the ring. He's actually getting pretty mad. You know, you could actually hear him like, fuck, you know, trying to get it in the freaking ring. Sorry from language, by the way. You had Big Show outside the ring, and Kane threw a ladder. Everyone just started piling ladders on Big Show, which was hilarious. You had Kane chokeslam Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston on ladders on the Big Show, which I was like, this is just great. I love this match. And the Money in the Bank winner ended up being Kane after he pushed the ladder down. I think it was him or Drew McIntyre, one of the two. Pushed the ladders down when Christian and Matt Hardy on the thing. They fell off. Drew McIntyre went up. Kane went up. Kane just chokeslammed Drew McIntyre down. And Kane took the briefcase and won. I'm so happy Kane won the Money in the Bank. He can be a world champion again. And who knows, maybe he cashed it in tonight. I don't know, you gotta find out in the review. Unless you've read the results and you know what happened. But you know, Kane won. They're excited. Then you had Sheamus backstage talking about how Nexus, he's afraid of Nexus now, and Nexus shouldn't have messed with him and stuff. Nothing special. He seemed kind of face in the promo too. But the next match he had was the Divas Championship match. Divas champion Alicia Fox versus Eve. Now I thought it was a pretty good match for a Divas match. You know, in the match Eve ended up injuring her back. And then I don't know what she tried to do. I think she tried to do like a swanton bomb or something. But Alicia Fox put her knees up and Eve landed on her back and Alicia Fox's knees. And Alicia Fox hit the scissor kick and won the match to retain the Divas Championship. Like I said, a pretty good match for a Divas match. Next match, Unified Tag Team Championship match. Unified Tag Team Champions, the Hart Dynasty versus the Usos. This was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. Thought it was a pretty good match overall. A lot better than their 6-person tag team match at Fatal 4-Way. But it was a pretty good match. At the end, Dave Hart Smith ended up putting Jimmy or Jay, one of the two. I think it's Jimmy. He put it on, putting Jimmy in a sharpshooter. He ended up tapping out. And I think that was a pretty good tag team match. Not the best, but you know, it was a pretty good tag team match for what it was worth. You know, no one was really expecting much going into the match, but it was a pretty good match. Next match she had was the World Heavyweight Championship match. World Heavyweight Champion Rey Mysterio versus Jack Swagger. Now this was a really good match. This is way better than the SmackDown match they had a couple weeks ago. This was a really good match. Jack Swagger basically just dominated Mysterio through the entire match. You know, working on his ankle the entire time. Just beating Mysterio up. Mysterio actually had some good spots with Swagger in the match as well. But Jack Swagger ended up hitting the Gunther's powerbomb on Rey Mysterio. When Rey Mysterio had his foot on the freaking ropes, it pissed me off. I wanted Swagger to win back the world title. But basically Swagger just basically beat the living hell out of Mysterio throughout the match. But at the end, Mysterio ended up untying his boot, and Swagger went for the ankle lock, but Mysterio swept his foot out of the boot and rolled Swagger up and retained the World Heavyweight Championship. WrestleMania 20 rip-off, by the way. Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero, it's a rip-off from that match. But I thought it was a pretty good match. It was worth it. Mysterio retains. And then Kane comes out. I'm marking out. I'm like, yes, Kane's going to catch the Money in the Bank. He beats up Swagger, and he basically just chases Swagger backstage. I'm sitting there, what the fuck? I'm like, are you kidding me, Kane? This is a perfect chance to cash in Money in the Bank, and you chase Swagger off. Then, you know, I started playing Mysterio's music, and they're focusing on Rey Mysterio. You know, he's looking at the world title. I'm like, wait, Kane actually might catch the Money in the Bank. All of a sudden, boom! Kane just comes out with the ref, you know, holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, staring at the briefcase and that Rey Mysterio. Walks through the ring. You know, the referee's telling the announcer Kane's cashing in the Money in the Bank. You know, the match starts. Mysterio's running around like a little girl trying to get away from Kane. Kane finally catches him, choke slams him, tombstones him. 1, 2, 3, wins the World Heavyweight Championship. I marked out like a bitch. I was like, fuck yeah, Kane, fuck his ass up the entire time. Because I hate Rey Mysterio, and I'm so glad that Kane has won back the World Championship. He hasn't won the World Champion like, what, 10 years? I think the last time he won the World title was either 98 or 99. I don't know. I think he beat Stone Cold in like a first blood match to win the title or something like that. I don't know, it's been a long time since he's won a world title, so I'm very glad that Kane is the World Heavyweight Champion. Next was the Women's Championship match. Women's Champion Layla versus Kelly. Kelly, nothing special. You know, it's a Divas match. You're not going to expect much from a Divas match. But at the end, Layla ended up rolling Kelly up to retain the Women's Championship. Nothing special. So, you know, that match, like I said, nothing special. Layla retains. Even though I hate Layla as champion because Lay Cole, personally, I like Lay Cole, but then again, they get annoying as hell on SmackDown. But it is what it is, you know? Alright, sorry for the room change. My parents came here, so I just changed rooms so I can finish the review. Alright, the next match was the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. Randy Orton versus The Miz versus Edge versus Chris Jericho versus Mark Henry versus Evan Bourne versus Ted DiBiase versus John Morrison. Now, this was a good slow-paced match. That's the only bad thing about the match was it was slow-paced. But it was a pretty good match for what it was worth. I actually expected the match to be a little better. But, you know, it was still good for what it was worth. But there is not a lot of spots as it were in the SmackDown one. It was still good, but, you know, there wasn't a lot of spots. Mainly when someone got in the ring, they just got thrown out of the ring. There wasn't like a clusterfuck in the ring or something like that. There'd be like 3 to 2 people in the ring at once until if someone got in the ring, they just threw them out. But yeah, it was a pretty good match for what it was worth. At the end, Evan Bourne, I thought he was gonna win it. I was, you know, kind of like, holy shit, because Evan Bourne, I thought he was going to win the Money in the Bank, because he had the briefcase and he was about to take it off, until I think Edge came up there and got him off something. Yeah, Edge came up there and got him off, and then Chris Jericho came up, and Edge and Jericho were fighting off for a little bit. Then Randy Orton just RKO's Chris Jericho when Jericho's on the ladder. You know, Jericho turns around and just RKO from Randy Orton, and Randy Orton throws Edge off the ladder because there's an open ladder, like upside down open ladder, and Edge fell and their ladder crushed him. And Randy Orton's going up, and then Miz comes out of nowhere, throws Randy Orton off the ladder, walks up the ladder, wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. I marked out like a bitch. If you follow me on Twitter, I posted a video on Twitter of me marking out when Miz won. And that was only like 20 seconds of my marking out. I marked out probably until they got to the Sheamus and Cena match. That's how much I marked out. I was marking out like a little bitch. I was screaming. I was like, hell yeah. I'm like, I knew The Miz was going to win. I wanted The Miz to win so bad, and I'm so happy that he did. And, you know, it was awesome. And then Miz got the mic, you know, explaining like, oh, no one ever took me seriously, you know. No one ever believed in me, but, you know, he's guaranteed to be a WWE champion. And I'm just so psyched that he's going to be a WWE champion. What I want him to do is lose the United States Championship at Night of Champions, but cashing in the Money in the Bank at Hell in a Cell. So that's what I'm moving forward to right there. That's when he should cash it in my opinion. The next was the main event, steel cage match for the WWE Championship. WWE Champion Sheamus versus John Cena. This match, truthfully, it was a good match. It was a bad way to end the show. It was very slow paced, like really, really slow paced. You know, nothing really happened. Their TLC match was way better than this one, but it was, like I said, very, very slow. But at the end, I'm just gonna go straight to the end because there's really nothing to talk about till the match. You know, they just did like a few moves and they get knocked down. They used the cage probably like 4 times. Not that good of a match. But at the end, John Cena and the Nexus ended up coming out, and they Michael Tarver had pliers to cut the chain so they can get in the cage. But one of the referees actually took it and ran off, and they're asking the other ref with the key to open the cage. Like, open the cage. Takes the keys and he just throws in the crowd. I'm sitting there. These refs have some damn big balls if they're gonna do this. No homo, but they're gonna throw the keys in the audience and run away from them. They had some balls to do that right in front of them too. Then you have Cena escaping the cage, and then you have freaking Justin Gabriel run up the cage, and then John Cena just flips him over into the ring, and John Cena's trying to get down. Everyone's just trying to, make sure he doesn't get down. Heath Slater's dumbass runs the other side and tries to stop Sheamus. Sheamus just hits him. He flies down. Sheamus just jumps, lands, and Sheamus runs off like he did at Fatal 4-Way. He runs to the crowd. He's gone. And Cena's pissed after the match. After the match, he destroyed freaking Darren Young again and Michael Tarver. And it went off the air just like it happened at Fatal 4-Way. It just showed the people around the ring that were, destroyed or killed or whatever you want to say. And pay-per-view ended.